The big meeting room of the Valtharian Council gleamed with blue light. Tall windows showed the stars beyond. Inside, the most powerful beings in the galaxy sat together. They were from different worlds, different species, but they shared one thing. They all thought humans were stupid and weak. Commander Taiwan stood before them all. He was a tall Valtharian with silver skin that shimmered under the lights. His voice was strong and clear. He pressed a button, and images of Earth appeared on the giant screen. Pictures of cars, buildings, and humans filled the room. Some aliens began to laugh. "Look at this," said a voice from the back. It was Krell, the ambassador from the Krell cluster. His 4 arms crossed over his chest as he spoke. "These creatures cannot even control their own weather. They burn old dead plants for power. How did this species even survive long enough to build machines?" The Elorian diplomat, Ha-Il, shook her head with a smile that was not kind. "They are children playing with toys they do not understand. We should give them rules and tell them what to do. They need a strong hand to guide them." Taiwan watched as more images played. Humans fighting wars with each other. Humans breaking things. Humans failing at simple tasks that any spacefaring species could do in seconds. The laughter grew louder. "Enough," said Taiwan, raising his hand. The room became quiet. "Earth is dangerous in only one way. It is too easy to hurt these creatures. They are fragile like thin glass. One of our ships could crash into their ocean and kill millions of them without effort. This is why we need rules. This is why we have the Protection Registry." The Protection Registry was an old law. When a powerful species found a weak species, they took control. They made laws. They decided what the weak species could do and what they could not do. It was seen as kind in a way. It kept weak species from hurting themselves too much. "Earth will be marked as Level 1, said Taiwan. "They are just beginning to leave their planet. They have no real weapons. They have no allies. They will be easy to protect." A vote was called. The result was fast. Every hand went up. Earth was now officially under the care of the Valtharian Empire and its allies. There was no celebration. There was only the feeling that a small problem had been solved. Taiwan did not know that someone had made a big mistake. The records for Earth had been lost. They had been lost for 300 years. The new papers written said Earth was Level 1. But the old papers, the real papers, said something very different. In those old papers, written by ancient explorers who had visited Earth long ago, it said, Level 8, HellWorld, most dangerous planet in Sector 7. Do not land, do not approach, do not make contact. But those papers were locked in the deepest files. No one had looked at them. No one cared about them. Earth was forgotten in the old system. It was new in the careless system. And no one wanted to check if they matched. Days after the vote, the Valtharian Empire was happy. They had added another world to their list of protected planets. Taiwan received praise for his work. His daughter, Ji Wu, who worked in the science department of the council, even told him he had made a good choice. "You have shown wisdom, father," she said. They sat together in a garden that hung in space. Through clear walls, they could see the cosmos. "They will be much safer under our watch." Taiwan smiled at his daughter. She was smart and kind. She believed in helping other species. This made him proud. "I hope so," he said. "They seem to have many problems on their world. Earthquakes, storms, diseases. They need help." What Taiwan did not know was that those earthquakes and storms were just the beginning. What he did not know was that Earth's weather could kill. Its storms could level cities. Its creatures could hunt humans in packs. Its very ground could swallow whole towns. Earth was not a Level 1 world. Across the galaxy, on the planet Earth itself, things were very different from what the Valtharians thought. In underground bunkers hidden deep in mountains and caves, the true government of Earth worked. Not many people on the surface even knew these places existed. Director Sung-ai sat in a dark room filled with screens and computers. She was a Korean woman in her 60s. Her hair was gray. Her eyes were sharp and always watching. She was the head of something called the Planetary Defense Command. Almost no one in the world knew about it. "Sir," said a young man named Tai-il, pointing to a screen, "we have detected alien ships near Earth's orbit. 3 of them. They are from the Valtherian Empire." Sung-ai did not move. She did not look surprised. She had been expecting this for a long time. "What do they want?" she asked quietly. "They have sent a message," said Tai-il. "They say they are here to make contact. They say we are now under their care. They say they have made us part of their protection registry." Sung-ai finally smiled. It was a thin smile. She stood up and walked to the window. Outside, night covered the land. Stars shone above. Somewhere above those stars were the Valtherians. "How interesting," she said. She turned to look at Tai-il. "They think we are weak." "Are we weak, Director?" asked Tai-il. He was young. He did not fully understand what they did here. "No," said Sung-ai. She walked back to the center of the room. "We are the strongest species in this region of space, but they do not know that. We have kept it secret for decades, and we will keep it secret for a while longer." She pressed a button on her chair. Lights came on in the room. Weapons appeared on the screens. Technology that could not exist on a level 1 world. Defenses that could protect an entire planet from invasion. Energy weapons, shields, ships hidden in secret bases beneath the ocean and under mountains. "Prepare a welcome party for our guests," said Sung-ai. "Commander Tae-wan will learn what Earth really is, but he will learn it slowly. Let him see just enough to understand that he was wrong. Let him see that we have been watching him. Let him see that we have always known." Tae-il looked confused, but he obeyed. He began typing messages into the computer. In orbit, the alien ships prepared to land. Commander Tae-wan stood on the bridge of his ship and looked down at Earth. It looked small and blue and helpless. He felt a little bit sorry for the creatures that lived there. They were so far behind. They would need so much help. He did not know that eyes were watching him. Cameras hidden in space tracked his every move. Weapon systems on the ground below were locked onto his ship. And on Earth, in the deep dark bunkers, Director Sung-ai was watching the screens and waiting. The aliens had come to protect Earth. They did not know that Earth did not need protection. Earth needed nothing but time. And in a few hours, the Valtherians would learn a very hard lesson about making fast judgments based on careless information. The age of mockery was about to end. The age of respect was about to begin. And it would all start with a simple tour of a mountain facility that should not exist on a world called Level 1. The landing site was a beautiful valley. Green grass covered the ground. Mountains rose up around it like giants watching over a small child. The sky was blue and clean. It looked peaceful. But Commander Tae-wan knew that Earth was dangerous. The briefing papers had warned about the weather. The ship came down slowly. Its metal bottom burned with heat as it pushed through the air. Dust and smoke rose from the ground where it touched down. The landing ramps opened with a sound like a great sigh. Tae-wan stepped out first. His guards followed him. They wore armor made of material stronger than steel. They carried weapons that could destroy buildings. They looked around at the strange world with a mix of fear and confidence. Behind them came Tae-wan's daughter, Ji-woo. She was young, only 30 years old, but she was already one of the best scientists in the Valtherian Empire. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity as she looked at Earth. She had never been to a HellWorld before. She had never been to any world quite so strange. "It is so wet," she said, touching the air with one hand. "So much moisture. The readings are strange." a figure appeared from the smoke. It was a human, an old man with gray hair and brown skin. He wore clothes that looked simple but strong. His name was Dr. Min Ho. He was a Korean scientist who worked for Director Sung-ae. He had been sent to greet the aliens. Taiwan looked down at the human. The human barely reached his chest in height. The human was fragile-looking. His hands were thin. His body seemed ready to break. But his eyes were not afraid. His eyes were calm and intelligent. "Welcome to Earth," said Min Ho. His English was good, clear. The translation device in Taiwan's ear spoke the words in his own language. "I am Dr. Min Ho. I work for the government of Earth." "Your government is now under our care," said Taiwan. His voice was kind but firm. It was the voice of someone speaking to a child. "We are here to help you, to protect you from yourselves." Min Ho smiled. It was a strange smile. It looked like the smile of someone who knew a joke that no one else had heard yet. "Please," said Min Ho, gesturing toward a mountain in the distance. "Come, let me show you what we have built." The group began to walk. Guards surrounded the humans. Ji-woo walked beside her father. Her instruments in her hand began to beep and click. She frowned as she looked at the readings. "Father," she whispered, "something is strange. My scanner is picking up energy signatures, large ones, coming from deep under the ground." Tae-wan nodded, but said nothing. He assumed it was natural power, geothermal energy from the hot rocks beneath Earth's crust. Nothing strange for a level 1 world. They reached the mountain. Min Ho walked up to a smooth cliff face. His hand touched a spot that looked like nothing special. A light blinked. Then the entire cliff began to move. It slid to the side, revealing a large tunnel entrance. Taewan's hand moved toward his weapon, but Min Ho raised his hands in a peaceful gesture. "This is safe," said the old scientist. "Please, come inside." The group entered the tunnel. Lights turned on as they walked, glowing brighter and brighter. The walls around them were smooth and cut with perfect precision. This was not something a level 1 civilization should have. This was something only advanced species could build. They descended deeper and deeper into the mountain. The elevator they rode in was silent and smooth. It moved faster than anything a level 1 world should possess. Ji-woo's instruments were going crazy now. They clicked and beeped so fast it sounded like insects in the darkness. "Father, this is impossible," she whispered. But she was smiling. Her mind was already working, trying to understand how humans could build something like this. Finally, they stopped. The elevator doors opened. The sight before them made Tae-wan stop in his tracks. It was a vast chamber, bigger than any building on any Valtharian world, and it was filled with machines. Machines that hummed with power, machines that glowed with blue light, machines that looked almost like weapons. "What is this?" demanded Tae-wan. His hand was now on his weapon. "This is our planetary defense station," said Min Ho calmly. "One of many." "You cannot have this technology," said Tae-wan. "Your species is level 1. You are not capable of building something like this. Where did you get it?" Min Ho gestured for them to follow. He led them to a control center where a woman sat watching screens. Her name was Ha-na. She was Korean, too. She was younger than Min Ho, maybe 40 years old. She did not look up from her work. "We built it ourselves," said Min Ho, "over the last 50 years. While your government was looking at our old records and making quick decisions, we were working, building, learning, growing stronger." Tae-wan felt something cold move through his body. Fear. He was not used to fear, but this made him afraid. "The power readings," said Min Ho, pointing to the screens. "They exceed your ship's power by 3 times. We have 10 stations like this, hidden around the planet, connected together in a network." Ji-woo stepped forward. Her mind was racing. She understood what this meant. Her father did not yet, but she could see it clearly. You are not level 1, she said quietly. No, agreed Minho, we are not, but we let you think we were, for a reason. Taewan's mind tried to understand, but understanding was slow. He had been so certain. He had been so sure about what he knew. Why? He demanded. Why would you hide this? Because, said Minho, we wanted to see what you would do when you thought we were helpless. We wanted to see if you would be kind, if you would be fair, if you would be honest. He looked at Taewan with eyes that held both sadness and strength. And now we have the answer. You came with weapons and commands. You came with the assumption that we needed you. You made decisions about our world without even looking closely. You are powerful, but you are not wise. In the control center, Hana finally looked up from her screens. She was smiling, not a mean smile, not a cruel smile, but a smile that showed she had been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Outside, high above the planet, the Valtherian ships were scanning the ground. And finally, for the first time since they arrived, they were seeing the truth. Weapons, shields, technology that was hidden so well that no casual scan could find it. But now, Minho was letting them see, letting them understand. Taewan looked at his daughter. She was staring at the screens with wonder. She understood already. The old man with the kind face and intelligent eyes had just told them something that would change everything. Earth was not helpless, and the Valtherians had made a very big mistake. The room they entered next was different. It was an office. Large windows looked out into the deep underground. Screens on the walls showed different parts of Earth, deserts, oceans, mountains, forests, and in each place there were humans working, building, learning, surviving. Director Sungjae sat at a desk made of dark wood. She was waiting for them. Her gray hair was pulled back tight. Her face showed no emotion, but her eyes were sharp and clear. They were the eyes of someone who had seen many difficult things and was not afraid of anything. Commander Taewan, she said, her voice calm. Welcome to Earth's true government. My name is Sung Ai. I am the director of the Planetary Defense Command. Taewan felt confused. Everything he thought he knew was wrong. His mind tried to catch up, but it was slow. The records, he said, the files we have, they say you are level 1. Those records are old, said Sungjae, and they are based on very limited information. 300 years ago, explorers came to Earth. They looked at us for a few days. They saw earthquakes and storms. They saw dangerous animals. They saw harsh conditions, and they made a judgment. Level 8. HellWorld. Too dangerous. Do not approach. She stood up and walked to one of the large windows. Outside, in the dim light, vast machines could be seen working. Machines that carved stone, machines that melted metal, all hidden underground, all invisible to the casual observer. Those records are still in the Galactic database, said Sungjae, but they were buried, forgotten, lost among trillions of other records about thousands of other worlds. When your people looked for Earth, you found the new records. The careless ones. The ones filed by a lazy administrator who did not do his job properly. Jiwoo was watching all of this with intense interest. She was beginning to understand. She understood that this woman had planned everything, that this moment had been coming for a long time. You let us make that decision, said Jiwoo. It was not a question. Yes, said Sungjae. We let you make it, and we watched to see what you would do, because that is how you tell if a species is worth knowing, if a species is worth trusting. She turned back to face them. Her expression was serious. Sit down, she said. I am going to tell you what Earth really is. I am going to tell you why we are level 8. They sat. Even Taewan's guards took positions by the walls. All of them felt the weight of something important about to be revealed. Sung-Ae brought up images on the screens. She spoke slowly and clearly, as if teaching a class of students. Earth is a hell world, she began. That means it is a place where nature itself tries to kill you every single day, every single moment. We have earthquakes that shake the ground so hard that buildings made of stone fall down like toys. These earthquakes happen without warning. They can destroy cities in seconds. The screens showed pictures of collapsed buildings, of cities flattened, of disaster after disaster. We have storms called hurricanes, continued Sung-ae. These are windstorms so powerful that they can tear trees out of the ground. They can lift houses into the air and throw them like objects. The wind moves at speeds that could kill a human instantly. These storms come without much warning. More images. Destroyed towns. Water covering everything. Destruction that looked like the end of the world. We have water that floods everything. Rain falls from the sky for days and days without stopping. Water covers the land. It drowns cities. It destroys crops. It kills people. And sometimes, water from the ocean comes up and covers the land. Tsunamis. Waves as tall as mountains. Tae-won watched silently. He was beginning to understand why Earth had been marked as level 8 so long ago. We have mountains that explode, said Sung-ae. Volcanoes. The heat from inside Earth comes out. It burns everything. The smoke goes high into the air and blocks the sun. The ash falls down like snow, but it is hot. It kills everything it touches. It can cover an entire continent in darkness. She pressed another button. Different images. Landscapes covered in ash, fire coming from mountains, lava flowing like rivers. We have diseases, she continued, sicknesses that appear and kill people. They kill without warning, without mercy. Millions of people die, and we cannot always stop them. We do not always understand them. Images of hospitals, of people suffering, of graveyards. And we have animals, said Sung-ae. Her voice became harder. Animals that hunt humans, predators that work together in groups. They are smart, they are fast, they are deadly. Some of them can kill 10 humans at once. They hunt us. We hunt them. It is a constant battle for survival. Pictures of jungle predators, of teeth and claws, of danger in the dark. Most species that live on HellWorlds die out within a few thousand years, said Sung-ae. The world is too harsh. The death is too common. Even the strongest species struggle. Many have gone extinct, disappeared from this galaxy. She looked directly at Tae-won. But humans did not go extinct, she said. Instead, we changed. We adapted. Our brains became sharper. Our bodies became stronger. Our desire to survive became so powerful that nothing could stop us. We learned to live with the earthquakes. We learned to predict the storms. We learned to build houses that would not fall down. We learned to grow food in difficult ground. We learned to hunt the predators before they hunted us. She pressed more buttons. The screens showed cities built on mountains, cities built on floating platforms, cities hidden under the ground, and all of them functioning, all of them full of humans working and building and living. We did not just survive, said Sung-ae with pride in her voice. We became stronger. We became smarter. We became something new, something that could not be broken by the world. And then we took that strength and we pointed it at the sky. We looked up at the stars and we said, we have survived a hell world. We have conquered the unsurvivable. What else is there that we should fear? She stood up and walked closer to Tae-won and Ji-woo. This is why we built the weapons. This is why we built the defenses, not because we wanted to hurt anyone, but because we knew what we were capable of. And we knew that a species born from a hell world would be dangerous if threatened, because we know how to survive when everything is against us. Min-ho, who had been quiet, finally spoke. You came to help us, he said gently. You thought we were children who needed protection, but we are not children. We are survivors of the harshest world in this region of space. We have weapons not because we are aggressive. We have weapons because we are strong. Ji-woo's mind was working very fast. She was beginning to see the bigger picture, the deeper meaning. "You are going to tell the council what you have learned here," said Sung-Ai. It was not a question. "And the council will have to decide what to do. Some will want to attack us. Some will want to make peace, and you, Commander, will have to decide which path is the right one." Tae-Wan felt the weight of his decision pressing down on him like a physical force. He had come to Earth thinking he would spend a few days teaching a primitive species about proper government. He had planned to leave feeling good about his work, feeling wise and powerful. Instead, he was sitting in a bunker deep under a mountain, learning that he had made one of the biggest mistakes of his life. He had judged a people without truly knowing them. And now he had to live with that judgment and figure out what to do next. Outside the facility, the sky above Earth began to fill with more ships. Valtharian ships, ships from other civilizations. Word had spread through the network of the Council. The investigation was beginning, and when the truth came out, nothing would ever be the same. The intelligence files were hidden in a secure location. Not even Director Sung-Ae went there very often. It was a place of secrets, a place where Earth kept its deepest knowledge, and now Ji-Woo was being shown into that place. Min-Ho walked beside her. They descended past security checkpoints. Guards checked their identification. Lights scanned their bodies to make sure they carried no weapons. Finally, they reached a door made of metal so thick that it looked like it could survive anything. The door opened into a vast room filled with computers and screens. A single person sat at the center. Her name was Bo-Ra. She was 60 years old but moved like someone much younger. Her job was to monitor all alien activity in space, every ship, every signal, everything. "We have known about your civilization for 87 years, said Bo-Ra, not bothering with greetings. She pointed to a screen showing Valtharian space. "We have been watching, learning, recording." Ji-Woo's eyes grew wide. 87 years. That was before her own father was even born. "When did you make first contact with us?" asked Ji-Woo. "We did not," said Bo-Ra. "We did not have to. We have radios, very old radios. We listened to your communications. We learned your language. We understood your technology. And we made a decision." She brought up more data. Maps of space, lines showing the paths of Valtharian ships, records of conversations. It was all there. Everything Earth knew about the Valtharians and their allies. "We decided not to reveal ourselves," continued Bo-Ra, "for a simple reason. We wanted to see what you would do if you thought we were primitive. We wanted to know if you would be kind to a weak species, or if you would use your power to control us." Min-Ho smiled sadly. "So when your ships appeared near our planet," said Bo-Ra, "we knew exactly what you were. We knew your power. We knew your weapons. We knew your laws. And we made a choice." She pressed another button. New information filled the screens. The classification records, the Level 1 designation, but also the old records, the Level 8 designation. Both of them were there. "We found your mistake in your databases," said Bo-Ra. "We hacked into your systems years ago. We found the lost records about us. We found that you had forgotten the truth. So we did something interesting. We pushed the Level 1 files to the front. We made them easier to find. We made sure that when your government looked for Earth, they would find the wrong information." Ji-Woo was shocked. Earth had been controlling what information the Valtharians had access to. Earth had been guiding the decision the entire time. "That is very aggressive," said Ji-Woo slowly. "Yes," agreed Bo-Ra. "It is. But it was necessary. If we had revealed ourselves, you would have seen us as a threat. Your military would have wanted to attack before we could grow stronger. But if we appeared to be primitive, you would think we needed help. You would think we needed guidance. And that would give us time." "Time for what?" asked Ji-Woo. "Time to decide if we could trust you," said Min-Ho. "Time to see if your people were wise enough to be worth knowing." Time to see if you would be honest partners or just powerful rulers looking for new worlds to control. Bo-Ra brought up another file. It showed Valtharian military bases, Valtharian weapons, Valtharian ships, all the things that humans had learned about over the past decades. "We know everything about you," said Bo-Ra. "We know your weapons. We know your tactics. We know your weaknesses. And we know your strengths. We have been preparing for any scenario, any attack, any negotiation." She looked at Jiwoo with an intensity that made the young scientist very uncomfortable. "What I am about to show you is something only 5 people on Earth know about," said Bo-Ra. "If you tell anyone, we will know, and we will not be happy." She pressed another button. A new screen came alive, and what it showed made Jiwoo gasp. It was a ship. A Valtharian ship. But it was not moving. It was not responding to signals. It was drifting in space like a ghost. "The first ship that disappeared," said Bo-Ra. "We destroyed it. We did it carefully. We made it look like an accident. A malfunction, but it was not an accident. It was a message that said, 'Do not come to our world with weapons and commands.'" "You killed them?" whispered Jiwoo. She felt sick. She felt angry. "We gave them a choice," said Minho quietly. "Our signals told them to leave, to go back to your council and tell them that Earth was dangerous. But they did not listen. They came closer. They tried to scan our defenses. And when they got too close, we destroyed them. We could not let them send the information back to your government." Bo-Ra showed another image, another ship, also destroyed, also drifting. "And this one," she said. "It came to investigate the first one. Same result. And now the third one is coming. We will let that one live. We will let them deliver a message to your council. A message that Earth is not what they think it is." Jiwoo felt the weight of what she was being shown. 2 ships destroyed, 2 crews dead. And these kind-looking scientists and old doctors had done it without blinking, without any sign of guilt or fear. "My father does not know this," said Jiwoo. It was a statement, not a question. "No," said Bo-Ra. "Your father is being shown what we want him to see. He is being given enough information to make the right choice, but not enough to know the full truth. He is learning that we are dangerous. He is learning that he made a mistake. He will return to your council and tell them what he learned, and they will have to decide what to do with that information." Minho put a gentle hand on Jiwoo's shoulder. "We are not evil," he said, "but we are not helpless either. For too long, the strong species have decided what happens to the weak ones. They have made rules. They have taken control. They have assumed they knew what was best. We are showing you that this time it is different. This time, the people of Earth will have a say in our own future. This time, no one will tell us what we can and cannot do." Jiwoo stood there in silence for a long time. She was trying to understand, trying to reconcile the kind people she had met with the people who had destroyed 2 starships full of others. Finally, she spoke. "If I tell my father what I have seen here," she said, "what will you do?" "We will take you into custody," said Bo-Ra flatly. "We will keep you alive and comfortable. We will wait until the negotiations are over, and then, depending on how things go, we will release you or keep you as insurance." "That is kidnapping," said Jiwoo. "Yes," agreed Minho. "It is, but it is necessary. We cannot risk everything we have built on the chance that your government will choose war over peace." Jiwoo understood then. She understood that Earth had moved from being the victims, the primitive species that needed protection, to being the ones in control. Earth had taken the future into its own hands, and it would do whatever was necessary to keep that control. The question was, what would she do with this knowledge? Would she help them, or would she oppose them? And she had to decide right now. The emergency council meeting was held in secret. No one from the general public knew about it. The most powerful leaders in the galaxy sat in a dark room and argued about what to do about Earth. General Karo from the Valtharian military wanted to attack. They destroyed our ships, he said, his voice hard and angry. They have admitted it. This is an act of war. We must respond with force. But Taiwan stood up and disagreed. He had returned to the council after visiting Earth. He had seen the facilities. He had felt the power beneath that world. And he had made a decision. Attacking Earth would be the biggest mistake we could make, he said. His voice was calm but firm. I have studied the data. I have seen their technology. If we attack them, they will defend themselves. And if they defend themselves, many of our ships will be destroyed. How can a level 1 world destroy our ships? Demanded Karo. Because, said Taiwan, it is not level 1, it is level 8. And I was foolish enough to make decisions without checking the facts properly. The council fell silent. Everyone stared at Taiwan. He was admitting his mistake in front of the entire government. It was something that did not happen often. Taiwan pressed a button and showed the data on screens. The energy readings, the weapon systems, the defensive networks, the ships that had been destroyed. All of it. They are showing us that they are dangerous, said Taiwan. But they are also showing us something else. They are showing us that they do not want war. If they did, they would have attacked us already. We are sitting on their planet. We are inside their world. If they wanted to kill us, they could do it easily. Then what do they want? Asked another council member. Her name was Nuri, and she was from the Alorian civilization. They want respect, said Taiwan. They want to be treated as equals, not as children who need guidance, and I think they deserve it. Meanwhile, on Earth, Ji Woo was having a very different conversation with Min Ho and director Sung Ai. She had decided not to tell her father everything, but she had decided to tell him enough to change the situation, enough to make him understand that Earth was not what he thought. Ji Woo sat with Sung Ai in a small room, just the two of them, no guards, no observers. Why are you helping us? Asked Ji Woo directly. Sung Ai was quiet for a moment. Then she began to speak. Because I believe your father is a good man, she said. I believe that he can learn. I believe that he can understand that what we have done is necessary. And if he understands, then maybe others will too. And if they do not? Asked Ji Woo. Then we will defend ourselves, said Sung Ai simply. We have lived through a hell world. We have survived the unsurvivable. We are not afraid of war, but we would prefer peace. Ji Woo looked at this woman who had destroyed 2 starships, who had killed hundreds of people. Yet she spoke about preferring peace with such sincerity that Ji Woo almost believed her. What do you want me to do? Asked Ji Woo. I want you to go back to your father, said Sung Ai. Tell him what you have learned. Tell him that Earth is powerful. Tell him that Earth is not as primitive as he thought. And tell him that we are willing to make peace if he is willing to be honest about it. Ji Woo nodded slowly. Over the next few days, the situation changed. More information came out. The destroyed ships were confirmed. But also, Taiwan made a bold proposal. Instead of attacking Earth, the Valtharian Council would send a new mission, a mission of peace. The mission would include Taiwan himself. It would include scientists and diplomats. And it would include people willing to actually listen to what Earth had to say. When the new ships arrived, they were not armed for combat. They came with open signals. They came with peaceful intentions. And on Earth, young scientist Hana worked with Ji Woo to draft a treaty between equals, a treaty that respected both civilizations. A treaty that opened the door to learning from each other. Min Ho watched the 2 young women work together, one human, one Valtharian. They argued about details. They questioned each other. They debated about what was fair and what was not fair. But through it all, they respected each other. They treated each other as equals. This is good, Min Ho said to Sung Ai, who stood beside him watching. This is what should happen between civilizations, not orders from the powerful, not commands from above, but two equals, working together to find what both can agree on. The other alien powers were not happy. Ambassador Caro wanted to declare war, but Taiwan spoke against him, and slowly, others began to listen. "We made a mistake," Taiwan said before the entire council. "We judged without understanding. We assumed without investigating. We created rules for a civilization we knew nothing about. Now we have the chance to correct that mistake. We have the chance to treat Earth as what it truly is, a powerful civilization that has survived impossible conditions. We have the chance to be partners instead of masters." It took time. It took many negotiations. It took much argument and debate. But finally, slowly, the Galactic Council began to understand. Earth was not a threat that needed to be controlled. Earth was a potential partner that deserved respect. And then came the moment that changed everything, the official vote. Would Earth be recognized as a Level 8 advanced civilization? Would they be admitted to the Council as full members? Taiwan pressed the button for yes. Other council members did the same. One by one, the votes came in, and after a long, silent moment, the result was announced. Earth was officially recognized. Earth was officially admitted to the Galactic Council. In the bunker beneath the mountain, Sung-Ai watched the announcement on the screens. Her face remained calm, but her eyes showed something else: relief, pride, the knowledge that all the work, all the planning, all the careful strategy had finally paid off. Ji-Woo was there with her. So was Min-Ho. So was Hana and other scientists and leaders from Earth. "We did it," said Hana, speaking to Ji-Woo. "We are no longer the primitive world. We are no longer the helpless civilization. We are equals." "No," said Ji-Woo, speaking to all of them. "You always were equals. You just had to show the rest of the galaxy what you already knew about yourselves." Min-Ho smiled. "That is very wise," he said, "for someone from a world that almost declared war on us." "I was only thinking of defending ourselves," said Ji-Woo. "I see now that was foolish. There is much we can learn from each other." And as she said it, she truly meant it. The young Valtherian scientist and the old Korean doctor smiled at each other, not as representatives of different species, but as friends, as colleagues, as people who had both helped bring peace where there could have been war. The future was no longer a question mark. It was finally becoming clear.